Oh, what's his name? Giuseppe CrimiVaroli. He likes to cook the food for you. His name is Giuseppe CrimiVaroli. He likes to cook food for you. Giuseppe CrimiVaroli. He likes to cook the food for you. Giuseppe CrimiVaroli. He likes to cook food for you.
Wasn't that magical? The McKenna family, everyone! What a way to kick off season 7 of Cooking Corner with me, Giuseppe CrimiVaroli. We're starting with the St. Patrick's Day special, which is going to be smashed potatoes. Now, in terms of ingredients, you're going to need the following. You're going to need salt and pepper. You're going to need olive oil and butter. I'm going to spice it up with some cheese, but most importantly, you're going to need potatoes. Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew. Now, in terms of hardware, you're going to need the following. You're going to need a pot. You're going to need a fork and a measuring spoon. You're going to need a bowl. You're going to need a strainer, a potato masher or a large fork, a baking sheet, and some aluminum foil. Step number 1, as always, is going to be wash your hands. Go ahead, turn your sink on, stick your mitts underneath, get them nice and moist. Now that your hands are nice and wet, squirt some soap on there. 2 squirts is my preference. Time to switch into shower head mode. Rub that soap all around in your hands, get in between the fingers on the back of the knuckles. Then stick your mitts back into the water. Wash all of that good soap off of there. And once you convince your hands are clean, you can turn the water off, grab a towel, and dry your hands. And now we're ready to cook. Moving on to step number 2, and step number 2 is going to be boil your potatoes. And the first part of that is turn some water on to boil. Now, while your water is starting to get warm, you can take the lid off and add a tablespoon of salt. I eyeballed it. Now that our water is boiling, it's time to add our potatoes. And they're going to sit in that boiling water for 25 to 30 minutes. Go ahead and add them now. Alright, now let them boil for 25 to 30 minutes. Alright folks, so our potatoes have been boiling for 30 minutes now. It's time to stick a fork in them and see if they're done. So what you're looking for is to see if the fork easily goes into the potato and if it easily comes out. As you can see, it does. So our potatoes are done. What we're going to do now is step number 3. And step number 3 is going to be drain your potatoes and let them sit in the strainer for 5 minutes. So go ahead. Grab your pot with whatever pot holder you got and pour your potatoes into the strainer. Now we're going to do something called steam drying. So you're going to let the potatoes dry in that strainer for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, we're going to check on them. So now that our potatoes have steam dried, we're going to put them on our tray and start to work on them. But right before you do that, you should preheat your oven to 390 degrees. Step number 4 is going to be smash your potatoes. So go ahead and grab your taters and throw them on a baking dish. Now that your potatoes are on a dish, evenly spread them out. Yeah, that's pretty good. Then grab whatever you're going to use to smash them. I personally have a potato smasher. Now let's get to smashing. Now I'll show you the optimal smashing procedure. Whatever you're using to smash, you're just going to take it and just smoosh the potato. Just like that. Then you're going to take your hands. It's going to be a little hot. You're going to take your hands and get all those potato pieces and reform it into a ball. Just like that. And once you've reformed it into a ball, smush it into a pancake-like patty. Ta-da! Then put it on your tray and press it down with your fork. Now that your potatoes are all smashed and reshaped, it's time to melt some butter in the microwave to drizzle over the top. I recommend starting with 1/4 of a stick, and then if you need more butter, melt more. Now just drizzle your melted butter over your potatoes. Once you've drizzled your potatoes in butter, you're then going to do the same thing with olive oil, and then you'll sprinkle with salt and pepper. Now that your potatoes are all dressed up, they're ready to go in the oven. You're going to bake them for 45 minutes, at which point you'll take them out, put any cheese you want on them, and put them back in for 5 minutes. With 5 minutes left on your potatoes, now is the optimal time to shred some cheese and sprinkle it over the top. So, whatever cheese you're going to add, if you're going to add any, grab it and start shredding it. Now that your cheese is shredded, take your potatoes out, sprinkle the cheese over top, and throw them back in for another 3 to 5 minutes. Now that you've cheesed your potatoes, just stick them back in the oven for another few minutes until they're done. It's been about 3 minutes and the potatoes are looking done. So we're going to take them out and move on to the final step, which is going to be plating. So we've taken our potatoes out of the oven and it's time to put one on a plate and taste test it. This one. Let's have a little bite. These mashed potatoes are delicious. That concludes the premiere episode of Season 7 of Cooking Corner with me, Giuseppe CrimiVaroli. If you like this video, leave a like below. If there's something you want to see on the channel, comment it and I'll try to make it for you. If you like videos like this, subscribe. We're putting out new content all the time. Turn on that bell for notifications. And happy St. Patrick's Day. Bye-bye now.
Oh, what's his name? Giuseppe CrimiVaroli. He likes to cook the food for you. His name is Giuseppe CrimiVaroli. He likes to cook food for you. Giuseppe CrimiVaroli.